Eligibility specialists help families every day by administering programs that provide assistance with food, shelter, and healthcare needs. This is a technical job with a human side that makes a huge impact on families and individuals in our communities. In this realistic job preview, you will meet eligibility specialists who will share experiences about what's involved in their day-to-day work. Thank you for your interest in becoming an eligibility specialist.
An eligibility worker can do a few different things depending on what they're hired to do. We have an intake type of eligibility worker. That worker is going to see families that come in on a day-to-day basis that are applying for benefits. They can be applying for anything from cash aid to Medi-Cal to CalFresh, and we're going to make that determination. Then you have a different type of eligibility worker that's a continuing worker. Once you are granted eligibility, you are then sent over to a continuing worker where that worker is going to maintain your case, process reports, determine that your monthly benefits are accurate for the remaining of your eligibility period.
When I began as an eligibility specialist, I didn't really have an expectation. One of my close friends had actually been working for the county, and he had suggested that this might be a good fit for me. So I figured it might be a lot of paperwork, phone calls, and things like that. But actually getting in, it was so much more than that. It's the ability to work with the public on a daily basis. It's working with colleagues and friends in problem solving. There are so many different opportunities to research and learn and then apply that knowledge. And it's only changed for the better.
Some of the skills that an eligibility worker should have is absolutely wonderful customer service. It's a lot of customer-oriented work that we do here at the Human Service Agency as eligibility workers, but you also want to be able to multitask and be able to manage your time. If you can't manage your time, you might end up with a lot of extra work or what feels like a lot of extra work, and it might make you feel stressed out. But if you can manage your time, you'll be able to get everything done, and this job will be rewarding. A lot of what we do as an eligibility worker is to provide that one-on-one personal touch with our clients, and we want to be able to walk them through different applications, different forms if they need it. And lacking that customer service might not result in the best fit for you.
The typical day for an eligibility specialist is actually not that typical. That's for a number of different reasons. So you could be assigned to one sort of eligibility. Maybe you're doing the intake or the initial applications. And that's going to look a whole lot different than what it would look like for somebody who is doing the continuing or maintaining a caseload. That being said, there are a lot of similarities between them. You're going to be responsible for returning phone calls, making sure that you're keeping up with correspondence with your colleagues, setting aside time to make sure that you're keeping up on your processing to meet some of those deadlines, and then figuring out how to balance all of that at the same time.
The essential roles of eligibility specialists are to determine eligibility for public assistance programs through interactive interviewing, process casework through automated systems, and maintain knowledge about regulations and procedures in order to make appropriate referrals for health, social, and/or employment-related services.
Eligibility workers get an intense training for the first year of their probationary period with the Human Services Agency. The first 3 months are comprised of nothing but theoretical components of the job, and then the last 8 to 9 months, there's all practical application, and we're consistently building them slowly with their caseloads so that they are understanding and grasping the concepts and able to master them before they apply them to our casework. It's a crucial component of an FSR, of Family Services Representative career.
So the type of training that eligibility workers get is actually an array of different trainings. So when they start, they get what we call induction training, which is 3 to 6 months of training. They then go on to what we call transition training, which can be either a continuing transition, Medi-Cal transition, or intake. And then we also have refresher trainings such as continuing education, release trainings, and then all agency trainings to cover mandatory topics such as anti-harassment and civil rights.
Working with the Human Services Agency gives you not just a job, it gives you a career. You don't just earn a paycheck, you come in here and you make a difference. So coming in here to applying, you are learning how to make a difference in these families' lives. You definitely are part of a family within the agency itself. You are part of an extended tribe that definitely looks out for one another. So being part of this agency isn't just a job, it's a family.
What inspired me each morning to get up and come to work is knowing that I'm making a difference in families' lives. So when I first started as an eligibility specialist, being able to process those reports timely, contact those clients and let them know, I was able to process this, you turned in everything you needed, your benefits are now available on your card, and to hear the joy in their voice to be able to feed their family is really what kept me coming in every day.
I love my job as an eligibility specialist because it's the most rewarding thing that I've ever done, to be honest. The immediate impact, the change that you see in a person when you are able to help them when they might not be having the greatest day or week, it's really hard to describe. And I'm lucky in that I not only get to work with the general public, but I also get to work with a team of great people that I'm training. And so when I'm able to impart on them the tools that they need to succeed, when I can see them grasp a concept and apply that to a number of different situations, it's just incredibly rewarding to see them grow and develop.
I think the biggest advice I could give to anybody applying to be an eligibility worker in a human services agency is be okay with change. We have change in policies, we have change in politics that affect your job, we have change in programs, change in software, you have change in supervisors. You're gonna have change in day-to-day routines, so come to work every day being okay that change is a part of your job. And if you can do that, you can be successful.
You should apply for this position if you're someone who wants to give back to your community, if you're someone who loves providing customer service, and you want to make a difference in people's lives. This job is incredibly rewarding. It really gives back to your community, but it does more than that because it gives back to your colleagues as well as your family. The information you can learn here at the Human Services Agency is worth a lifetime of knowledge.
My advice for a potential applicant would be apply. You will never know if you're going to succeed at this job without trying to go through the motions. If you have a calling for public service, if you want to be the change in someone else's life, then there's no time like the present to make that a reality.
The advice that I would give you in order to get this job is to be yourself and to be compassionate. What we want to see here is we want to see people who come in as their true, authentic self. But we also want to make sure that they are going to give compassionate care to our clientele and to our community members.
Thank you for your interest in learning more about becoming an eligibility specialist. Please check for current openings by visiting our website.